Happy Halloween, everyone. In the spirit of the holiday, I wanted to run down a list of 4 retro-style horror games that I feel deserve more attention than they've gotten. You may have heard of some of these, and there might be some new ones to you in here too. But, whatever the case, I hope you enjoy. See you on the other side. Released on Steam in 2019 and ported to the Nintendo Switch in 2020, Yuppy Psycho has you take on the role of Brian Pasternak, a young man who hasn't really quite figured out what he's doing with his life. Upon receiving a letter in the mail with a job offer from Sinstra Corp, it's now his job to untangle a web of lies and horror as he tries to find and kill a witch, causing a dark corruption within the company. Yuppy Psycho boasts some wonderful pixel art and an excellent retro feel, similar to what you would expect to find from an RPG Maker game, but much more fleshed out and detailed. It also has a unique humor about it, often poking fun at standard horror tropes and even making fun of itself from time to time. While this isn't your usual horror experience and the gameplay can sometimes be a bit mundane, the puzzle-based exploration and mystery surrounding whatever it is that's going on here is more than enough of a reason for you to check this one out. Murder House was originally released in 2020 for PC and has just recently been ported to most major consoles. Made by indie developer Puppet Combo, this retro-inspired slasher seeks to recreate the feel of early PlayStation horror games, complete with puzzle solving, collecting items, and tank controls. To really drive up the tension as well as the nostalgia, you will need to find pencils in order to save, much like the ink ribbons from early Resident Evil games. The game has you take on the role of Emma, who is working as part of a news crew looking to do a story on deceased serial killer Anthony Smith, better known as the Easter Ripper. Upon arrival at Anthony's now abandoned home, the crew breaks into the house and sets up to begin filming as Emma starts to have odd hallucinations about her friends being killed. Shortly after, she finds their van destroyed with a note telling them it's time to play the egg hunting game. While the game is fairly short and can be completed in an afternoon, it holds no shortage of scares and makes excellent use of atmospheric tension to keep you on your toes the whole way through. Recommended for those who want a non-stop thrill ride all the way to the end. I know, the title says retro-style horror games, and this one actually is a retro horror game. What's going on here? Well, you know what? It's my list. I wanted to talk about Haunting Ground, so I make the rules. Haha, deal with it. Fans of the Clock Tower series may be familiar with this one, but Haunting Ground was released for the PlayStation 2 by Capcom in 2005. As a spiritual successor / spin-off to the Clock Tower series, in an attempt to refresh the struggling franchise. Haunting Ground bears many similarities to the Clock Tower games, with constant stalkers, a panic system, and your primary means of defense being hiding in closets and running away. The story, however, is completely distinct from anything in the Clock Tower games, revolving around our teenage protagonist, Fiona Belly. After a car accident, Fiona wakes up to find herself naked in a place so bizarre I can only think to refer to it as Uncle Touchy's naked puzzle basement. After finding her way out, she discovers herself trapped in a castle full of monsters and some hostile residents who are either trying to kill her or impregnate her. Yeah, it's kind of a weird game. It's not long before you're introduced to the most unique and arguably most frustrating mechanic of this entire game. Huey. Huey is a good boy, but he takes some time to train and sometimes refuses to listen to you. Over time, as Fiona and Huey work together to find their way out of this godforsaken place, you will eventually discover many secrets that the story has to offer, and it actually dives into some pretty heavy themes, like psychology, spirituality, religion, all held together at its core by alchemy. While the game isn't perfect, it's still a really fun one if you're looking for something a bit out of the ordinary, but still want that classic retro game experience. The most recent game on this list, and one I'm surprised is not on more people's radar, Buddy Simulator 1984 likes to refer to itself as a wholesome horror game about friendship, and is truly one of the more bizarre horror experiences I've had the pleasure of playing in recent years. Released on Steam in February of 2021 by Not a Sailor Studios, Buddy Simulator starts off as a fairly innocuous, text-based, DOS-style interface, where you can create yourself a new friend. I named him Steve. You can even play games with your new friend, such as Hangman or Rock, Paper, Scissors. After playing the 3 mini-games provided by Steve, we got bored, and Steve suggested making a new game. Buddy Simulator is full of surprises from start to finish, and Steve's game will evolve as you play, going from a text adventure to a top-down 2D game, and beyond. From this point forward is where things start to get a little weird, and I don't want to spoil anything in this video, but you will meet a delightful cast of wonderfully tragic characters, as well as some solid storytelling as the game develops. With multiple endings and a rather Undertale feel to the game, there's plenty to do despite the game being beatable in about 5 hours. Buddy Simulator 1984 is a great experience, and you would be woefully misguided to not look into it for yourself. Oh dear, you absolute phantom, I didn't even see you there. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you saw here and want to see more things like this, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps out a lot. Comment below if you have any hidden horror gems of your own that you'd like me to check out. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.